After logging into Workday, students will be able to see actions that they need to complete in two locations. The first is under Awaiting Your Action on the home page, and the second is in their My Tasks inbox. This inbox is in the top corner, and you can see this one is currently lit up with a red number 6 to let us know that there are 6 activities in onboarding that we need to complete. I'm going to click into the inbox, and I'll now be able to see all of the activities that I need to complete, or I can start by taking a tour. Most individuals will skip this. I'm going to start with the activity that takes the most time to complete, and that's reviewing my friends and family. This is where students will indicate their emergency contacts and indicate for those individuals what permissions they should have to see student data. You'll see that students must have an emergency contact, and that contact must have an address, phone number, and email. In order to add this information, students will go to the Add button, and a new screen will pop up. The first person that a student should enter is their emergency contact, and they will need to click into the Relationships type box and select Emergency Contact first. From there, if they'd like to, they can click into the other relationship box and let us know what type of relationship this is. From here, I'm going to review the Is Third-Party User box. If I would like this individual to have access to my student account to see things like my grades or assist in paying any of my student charges, I'm going to select this box. And when I do, I'm going to notice that this creates an error alert. This alert does not stop you from moving forward. Instead, it's letting you know that after you complete this page, you will need to go in and select what items you'd like this user to be able to see. From here, I'm going to scroll down and enter the name in for my contact. After doing so, I'm going to find the Contact Information tab, click into it, and begin entering information for this individual. Underneath Phone, I'm going to click into the Add button, and I'll see that the country code of the United States has already populated. If I needed to change this, I could click on the small X next to the title and enter in the correct country code. From here, I'm going to enter in the phone number. If I'm satisfied with this being a mobile device, I'll leave the phone device button alone. Otherwise, I can click into it and select the other type of device. And then I'm going to click into the Type button and select if this is a home or a work number. In this case, I'm selecting home. You'll notice that the first phone number you put in for each type of phone or work will default as the primary home phone number. From here, I can either add another phone number or I can scroll on to the next item. Under Address, I'm going to click Add. I'll leave the effective date box alone as it automatically populates to today's date, and I'm going to leave the country code alone as this is the country code that I'd like to use. If you'd like to change it, you'll click the small X button next to the title and enter in the correct country. I'm going to begin by entering in the address, then the city. I can click into the state box and select a state, or I could type in the state that I'm looking for. I'll enter in the postal code. And then I'll once again need to indicate the type of usage. So clicking into this box, I can either select home or work. And in this case, I'm going to select that this is the home address. You'll see that this automatically populates the primary home and use for boxes. You will not need to edit these boxes, but just make sure that the first home address you enter in is your primary. I could either add another address, or I could add the last step, which is an email address. I'm going to click the Add button under Email. I'll type in this person's email, and once again select the type. In this case, it's a home address. Now that I feel good with the information that I've typed in, I'm going to click the OK button. From here, I'll notice that the error alert pops back up just to really drive home the point that I need to edit this individual's access to my student account on the next page. Now that I know I've been reminded, I'm going to click OK again, and I'll get to review the information I just input. I can tab over to Contact Information just to ensure that everything's okay, and once I'm done, I'll click the Done button. I can now see that this person's information has been loaded into My Friends and Family, and from here, while I'm hovering over that name, I'm going to scroll all the way to the right, and I'll see that there's an Actions dropdown for me to select. When I click into this dropdown, I'll see that I have options to edit this friend and family member, manage their permissions, or remove this friend and family member. From here, I want to manage the permissions, and I'm going to click into this icon. Doing so brings up a search box. If I was a student at more than one University of Arkansas system school, I'd be able to select different institutions, but because I only want to do this for Fayetteville, I'm going to leave these items as they are and click OK. From here, I'm going to select the items that I want this individual to have access to. The first item is to make a payment on my student account. This is followed by viewing the financial aid package, viewing the account activity, which is student billing, viewing the student statement, which is also student billing, and being able to see the charges for certain courses on that statement. The next is viewing the current class schedule, followed by grades, and the last is to generate an unofficial transcript. I've selected all of these boxes, but you can pick and choose which items you'd like to grant permission for. You can also go back and edit this at any time. From here, I'm going to click OK, and I'm going to be asked to put in a statement or a purpose for my waiver. In this case, I'm saying access for parent. From here, I click Confirm and hit Submit. I'll see a pop-up box, and I'm going to go ahead and close out of it. And I'll now go back and see that my individual that I've added as my emergency contact is there. And I could either add another contact, or if I'm satisfied with what I've done, I can go ahead and hit the Submit button. A guide that shows step-by-step how to manage that third-party access is available in the description in this blue text. I'm going to go ahead and hit Submit. And one last time, I'm going to be asked to review my contact that I've added. And once I've done that, I'll click the Done button. And I'll see that this item has now been removed from my inbox. Students can go in and update their emergency contact and their permissions from the student profile at any time. For my next item, I'm going to go in and decide if I'd like to consent to receive my 1098-T tax form electronically. Receiving electronic tax forms is recommended, but I have the option to choose as a student. If I'd like to opt in, I'll go ahead and click the button and hit Submit. But if I'd like to opt out, I just won't click this button and I'll hit Submit anyway. Once again, I'll be asked to confirm what I've clicked. I'll hit the Done button, and I'll now see that that item has been cleared from my inbox. The next thing I'm going to review is the UAF FERPA policy. FERPA is the federal law that protects student data and information. To learn more, I'm going to click into the document link, and in a new tab, information on the registrar's office will open for me to review. Once I've reviewed this, I'll come back to this page, click the I agree box, and hit Submit. I'll close out of my pop-up and move on to my next item, which is the UAF financial agreement. To review this agreement, I'll click on the blue text of the document. The document will open for me to review, and after I've thoroughly read this, I can either click into the gray space next to the document or click the back arrow. Now that I've agreed, I'll go ahead and click on the I agree box and hit Submit. I'll close out of my pop-up, and now I'll move on to my federal student aid authorizations. If I would like to use my federal student aid to pay for additional charges outside of tuition and mandatory fees for things like parking, I'll want to read through this information, scroll to the bottom, and click I authorize. If I do not want to authorize this, I'll leave the box unchecked. Once I've authorized, I'm going to hit the Submit button, and I'll see an alert that pops up. This is just asking me to review the selection that I've made. I'll go ahead and click the Review button. I'll double check that I've clicked the box that I wish to click, and I'll hit Submit. I'll close out of this new pop-up, and the last item that I'll complete is reviewing my home contact information. For most students, this information will be loaded from your application, but for international students, you may have to enter this afresh. I noticed that I want to change some information on my address, so I'm going to go in and click the Edit button, and I'll be able to change my items by either clicking the X button to completely delete an address or other item, or clicking the pencil icon to be able to edit. If I click the pencil icon, I'll see an effective date that I can ignore, and the only information that I will have to enter in for an address that doesn't have a red asterisk next to it is the county code. If I edit my address, I want to be sure to add the county. Once I feel good with the information that I've submitted, I'll scroll back up and click the checkmark icon. I could then go in and edit my phone number, my email address, or my web address if I have a website. Once I feel good, I'll go in and click the Submit button. I'll close out of the pop-up, and I'll do one last look to make sure I'm okay with the information that I've provided, and I'm going to click the Approve button. From here, I'll see that all of the items have been closed out of my inbox. I can close out of the pop-up, and if I'd like to go back to the home page, I'll click on the University of Arkansas icon at the top. I'll now see that all of my actions and tasks are caught up. If there were additional things for me to complete outside of onboarding, I would still see them either in my inbox or here under awaiting your action.